What was the historical significance of the career of Isambard King de Brunel? Isambard King de Brunel changed the shape of England through his designs and constructions. He was born in April 1806 and died September 1859. He was a British engineer best known for his famous bridges and the creation of the Great Western Railway, and a series of steamships that were able to cross the Atlantic. His inventions were long-standing solutions to the problems that all engineers had faced. In the early stages of Brunel's life, trains and railways as a means of transport and goods delivery became very important. As an engineer, this influenced him to get more involved with the development of transport. Before the Thames Tunnel was finished in 1833, Brunel got the job of chief engineer for the Great Western Railway. It was to run from London to Bristol, and later it would run to Exeter as well. The plan was settled on, and the company was founded in 1833, during a public meeting in Bristol. It was then incorporated by Parliament in 1835. Brunel took two major decisions in the design of his railway. He decided he would use a broad gauge of 2 meters 14 for the track because he had reason to believe that it would offer the ability to reach higher speeds. The other decision taken was to run the line through the north of Marlborough Downs. This had no important towns, though it did give the option of connections to Oxford and Gloucester, and then on to London. The reason that his choice of gauge was viewed as controversial by most was due to the fact that all railways to that date had been using what was known as standard gauge. Brunel believed that standard gauge was just a carryover from George Stephenson's mine railways, the world's first ever passenger railway line. Through a series of equations and trials, Brunel realized that the broader gauge he was proposing would offer a higher speed, more comfortable ride, more capacity aboard freights, and larger cabins. He surveyed himself the whole length of the route between London and Bristol. Using the knowledge that he picked up from the Thames Tunnel, the Great Western included a run of impressive achievements: stations specially designed for the railway, viaducts set in the sky, and tunnels long and wide, namely the famous box tunnel, the longest railway tunnel in the world at its time of creation. Brunel ordered a set of locomotives that fitted the requirements of his design, though upon receiving said locomotives he found them to be very displeasing. Though there was one deemed satisfactory, the North Star locomotive. Daniel Gooch was employed as locomotive superintendent. The pair, Brunel and Gooch, decided that they wanted to base their locomotive works in the town of Swindon, the place where the slow ascent to London changed to a steeper downward incline towards the Rhine Valley at back. The beginning of Brunel's solo engineering career was mostly to do with bridges. The Royal Albert Bridge traversing the River Tamar in the vicinity of Plymouth, and a rather original bridge near Bridgewater framed with timber. These were two of Brunel's early works. In 1838, Minehead Railway Bridge was built over the Berkshire region of the Thames. It was the widest and flattest brick arch bridge in the world. To this day it still supports the main train lines to the west of England. The bridge is comprised of two arches, both spans a total of 39 metres each, a vertical height of just 7 metres. Across the width of the bridge are 4 tracks. The seemingly flat arches were purposely built to help train engines avoid steep slopes. The trains used today are mostly 10 times as heavy as Brunel had ever anticipated. The design, therefore, is perfect for the type of train used now. Designed in 1855 for the Cornish Railway Company, the Royal Albert Bridge is comprised of two main spans of 139 metres each. Parliament rejected Brunel's original plans for the train ferry that would stretch across the estuary of the Tidal, Tamar, Tavy, and Latimer. The bridge was complete and declared open by Prince Albert the year that Brunel passed away, though perhaps one of Brunel's most famous works is located in Clifton in Bristol. Clifton Suspension Bridge spans 213 metres and sits 61 metres above the River Avon. When the bridge was constructed, it held the record for the longest span in the world. Before the bridge's construction, Brunel submitted 4 designs to a committee before gaining their approval. Though he never lived to see the realization of the bridge, an organization of his colleagues, admirers, and fans at the Institution of Civil Engineers thought it would be a perfect memorial and raised the funds needed to build such a bridge. The work began in 1862 and ended in 1864, just 5 years after Brunel's passing. During Brunel's railway building career, through many of the South Devon and Cornwall tracks, there was money required due to the need to traverse many valleys. He incorporated wood into many of his plans. The wood was used on many of the bridges that was needed, and over the years since their construction the wood has been replaced many times. Nearly all of the bridges designed by Brunel are still in use today. The Thames Tunnel is also designed by Brunel and is now part of the London Underground. Before the finishing touches had been placed upon the Great Western Railway, Brunel was already working on a new project. This project was transatlantic shipping. He used his prestige to persuade the railway company workers into building his newest idea, the Great Western. It would go on to be the biggest steamship in the world. She first sailed in 1837. The ship was 72 meters long, made of wood and powered by sail and paddle wheels. The first sail to New York took just 29 days, whereas before on the normal sailing ship it would have taken around 2 months. 74 crossings were made in total. The Great Britain, another ship, was built in 1843. It was much larger at 98 meters long. It was the first ever iron-hulled, propeller-driven ship to cross the Atlantic Ocean. Looking over these great successes, in 1852 Brunel moved on to a third ship. Said ship was even bigger than the two of its predecessors, and was built for traversing the oceans to India and Australia. The Great Eastern was very advanced for its time. It was almost 200 meters long and included the most luxurious appointments, and was able to carry over 4,000 passengers. The ship was designed to cruise under its own power non-stop, from London all the way to Sydney, and then all the way back again. At that time, most of the engineers believed that there was no coal mines in Australia, and until the turn of the century came around, it was the biggest ship ever built. The ship soon ran over budget and fell behind schedule, like most of Brunel's bigger plans. The Great Eastern's legacy lays at the bottom of the ocean in the form of the transatlantic cable. It failed as a means of transporting passengers, though a role was found for the ship-laying cable, meaning Europe and America had a telecommunications link. It can be argued that one of Brunel's great failures was that his ship designs were just too many years ahead of their time. The economic and industrial difficulties of the time made Brunel's all-metal, screw-driven giant ships only a partial reality. Partial because it would be decades before the transoceanic steamships were ever a viable industry. The significance of his career is that all of the engineering feats he accomplished and the designs that influenced many more to come. Without Brunel, it could have been years before some of these designs were ever imagined. The ships, trains and bridges changed the shape of England.